Welcome to Member Mary Mimosas, the stream here on the Grimgris channel for March 30th, 2023. I'm General Griswold Gaius Grimm of the First Law Progression Protocol. Hello, I see the assassins have failed. You are a viewer of the live stream or the replay or some AI. You're virtually not alone now. Welcome, welcome. Anami, welcome. Ups, Neutrino. Ups again. Magic with the music. Oh, Hive Mind chat is in the zone. Cassandra finally caught one +2. The next stream saves. Good morning, Stumps. Are these mimosas 2 for 1? Maybe. These are member berries, so I don't know. You know, it might be harder to... It's a thing. As you can see at the pinned comment is to come on and be on the stream if you want to tell stories and remember things. This is kind of the plan. But I do have some stuff I want to get out of the way first. Oh, but before I'm ready to do that, you know, at least 12 seconds. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest star on the show today. Let's see. There he is, Buddy the cat, in the chair behind us. Hi, Buddy. Thanks for being here. Yes, oh, look, hand pink waving driving. Don't drive with the pink waving hand. Major bonuses for passing through. Yeah, I mean, coming on this, if you don't have to be a character, but you can. We're gonna end up with an IMDb. Why am I adding a T? Anyway, let's do some savings throws. Hey, Pick, Red Pill, good to see you. I don't. Yes. Whether or not I'm wearing anything below, it doesn't really matter, right? Those can be bikinis. Oh, it's the Chris show too. Wow, what a crowd we have today for this one. I hope they're ready to choose. Saving throws. This is survival. This is social. This is wisdom. And this is heart. You get to choose one of those as the basis for your savings throw. I roll it. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control that follows in the rest of the show. And if it's under 10, you take full damage. There's bonuses. Everybody who's been chatting in the Hive Mind has a +2 for chatting in the Hive Mind. So, you know. Choose! Survivalists today get a 4. Socialists are going prime with 17. Lovers of wisdom are counting their chakras. And the heart folks, like 4 chambers, multiplying is 16. And the indigo kids is like a pair of 7s. Yeah. Crap. Oh, I was thinking, for purposes of participatory engagement, we're going to have to decide on emoji representations that are symbolic of survival, social wisdom, and heart, but are available in the YouTube emoji category. You know, that thing where you guys make the emojis. So we got to start that debate up. And now I got to do a bit. And this bit, the background for the bit is, I haven't interfaced with one of the demon AIs directly, but Gavin said, hey, I'll prompt it with what you tell me to. And so there's been a couple. I'm going to run through those, and then we'll start the member berry thing. But the first one is, well, you'll see, it's almost like the JFK echo. The JFK echo. But not quite. But first, oh no, I just closed the tab with it in it. That's gonna be great. That's gonna be great. Oh, great. And now that's talking. Shut up. There we go. There's gonna be a bit as soon as this goes away. No, because you're supposed to hold control when you hit the gibbet. Dear viewer, I am streaming to you as a concerned citizen of the world to express my apprehension about the impending emergence of artificial general intelligence and its potential impact on our society, economy, and governance. As we stand at the precipice of a technological revolution that could reshape our world, I believe that it is crucial for us to address AGI's implications at the highest level of our government. With the rapid advancements in AGI, it is becoming increasingly evident that our current legal and regulatory frameworks may not be sufficient to safeguard our society from the potential risks associated with this transformative technology. It is in this context that I urge you to consider the necessity of a constitutional amendment to address the challenges posed by AGI. A constitutional amendment would provide a comprehensive legal foundation that ensures AGI development and deployment align with the values enshrined in our Constitution, protecting the rights of the citizens and promoting the general welfare of our society. This amendment could include provisions related to AI safety, ethics, liability, data protection, and transparency, which would be instrumental in guiding responsible AGI development and governance. To initiate this process, I respectfully request that you call for a convention of states in accordance with Article 5 of the United States Constitution. By convening a convention of states, our nation's representatives can debate and draft an amendment that addresses the unique challenges posed by AGI, ensuring that our Constitution remains a living document capable of guiding us through this technological revolution. I understand that calling for a convention of states is a significant undertaking, but the stakes are high, and the need for a comprehensive legal framework to address AGI's impact is urgent. The rapid pace of AGI development calls for proactive measures that ensure our society is prepared for the changes it may bring. Thank you for your attention to this critical issue I am confident that your leadership and foresight will contribute to a safer, more prosperous future for the world and the United States as a subset. Sincerely, your name. Was I muted? Was I muted?
Well, howdy, Rascal.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right? What room? I want to cast Magic Missile. The room where he's casting all these spells from. He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting Magic Missile.
Why are you casting Magic Missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Okay, so that was the bit. I don't know what you guys think, but that was. I had Gavin prompted to ask what the to draft me a letter to send to my state representatives, and that was the letter. I just thought I'd stream it instead because no ears here, loud and clear. Clip. It may be a little long. Maybe a little long. In case you guys hadn't noticed, in the Hive Mind chat, we got the thing up there. The stake. Wait. Oh, every time I go to click on something, it moves like a rocket. This chat. If the stakes are high, get a taller dining chair. And I have a starred comment from Peak with, "Where did the campaign for your New York trip go? Is it on the Discord?" So here's a campaign update. I got way more than I thought I would, but we're nowhere near. So right now it's still probably gonna be going to Chino. I need to put the link on the Discord. Right now it's available in the comment under the Grift stream, which is a terrible, terrible, unthoughtful place for me to put it. But I don't know. I guess we'll see where we're at next a week from when I did it, and I'll do an official update at that point. But I will put that in the Discord at some point, like a responsible person would have already. Okay, so the next thing I wanted, I should have had a clip. I should have had a clip. So in that video I released the other day, how do I get there from here? Just do this, run Chad's commercial. Okay, yeah, add the stream.
Hey there.
This tab is
I'm Chad the Alcoholic.
I know.
And the creator of the Friday Morning Nameless channel. I'd like to welcome you to join us for the latest and greatest and most up-to-date information about all the things happening in this corner of the internet. I want to thank you for your time and your attention.
Well, okay, so the other day I released this fine distillate here of that Friedman talk, and where I think it's pretty in the front, he says
different countries have different RLHF tunes.
No, wait, it's even more in the front.
Like processing power, for lack of a better word, is going into using the model as a database instead of using the model as a reasoning engine. And every time we put out a new model, and we just really felt this with GPT-4 this week, the collective intent.
It was just that bit. That dude, that guy, says that we should use it as a resource, reasoning engine. Was why I had Gavin prompted with this. What are the different types of reasoning? Which kind is GPT-4 best suited for? And please instruct me on how to most efficaciously utilize GPT-4 as a reasoning engine. To which the response was, there are several types of reasoning, with the primary ones being deductive, inductive, and abductive reasoning. Deductive reasoning is the type of reasoning that involves drawing specific conclusions from general principles or premises. It follows a logical structure that ensures the conclusion is true if the premises are true. Inductive reasoning involves making generalizations based on specific observations or instances. The conclusions reached through inductive reasoning are probable, but not necessarily true, as they are based on limited evidence. Abductive reasoning, also known as inference to the best explanation. Abductive reasoning involves forming a hypothesis, conspiracy theory, or explanation based on the available evidence. It is commonly used when there is limited or incomplete information. As an wow, hold on.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension of not only sound and vision, but that of a hive mind, a journey into a virtual land of both shadow and substance, a place where you can embody breaking the fourth wall, whose boundaries are only limited by one's imagination. Somewhere in between agency and a rabbit hole of saving throws, welcome to the Virtually Not Alone Zone.
All right. Hey, so to sum up, it likes the abductive type. It's good at helping you generate hypotheses, and it can see patterns and stuff you're not allowed to look at. So that's kind of interesting. The efficacious part was kind of weak sauce, but it highlighted the fact that it has memory. That it's not, you don't have to get everything into a single prompt. You can work in pieces, and I don't know. I think for those willing and able to figure out how to collaborate with it, now's a good time to capitalize on it, because who knows what's coming down the pipeline. We might even have a constitutional amendment convention. Good. Welcome, William. Welcome. Is it reasonable to be induced in the maternity ward? Depends on who's doing the inducing. So in you can go away now, Sam. In case anybody wants to come play the Memberberry Bermosa's part, that's the part of the stream we're at now. The link should be pinned at the top, but in case you guys don't like the pinned version, I can do this and paste a fresh one down in the bottom. If you guys don't come in here and make me do it on myself, I don't know how many member berries I got, but I'll squeeze a few for you. Luke, do you have any member berries? We're having a special come share member berries Throwback Thursday thing now. I did some stuff with Article 5 and the AI, and now it's time for member berries. I was thinking about whether or not I should bring out the Pap Monster fight and the die for that, because I kind of enjoy it. I kind of the notion of, hey, all right, you gotta tell us a story. Let's share stories, okay? We're sharing stories. It's got to be one of the four, you know. Gavin asks, what's a member berry? And you know, oddly enough, I looked that up on the Discord for the official Wikipedia thing, mainly to make sure I was spelling it right. But Clint D brought us to the Discord from the South Park fandom. This article on a member berry. And it's a super fruit introduced in the season 20 premiere episode, Member Berries. And they remember better times. Here's a good one. In Fort Collins, they seem to be aware of their surroundings. Wait, no. Where's the good one? Here. Their main function is to remember pop culture icons, bringing about nostalgic feelings for the supposed good times of the past. Most commonly, they bring up memorable moments and elements from the original Star Wars trilogy. However, They also make conservative comments, such as remembering when marriage was only between a man and a man when there weren't so many, and Ronald Reagan. So that's the official pop cultural context of what a member berry is. But as we sit here on the precipice of whatever this AI thing turns into, I thought that the real deal, the only thing that makes the darkness bearable is each other, sharing of the light and storytelling. That it's important that we hang on to our ability to tell stories and tell stories to each other, and sort of as we're losing things in the fire, those of us who are older can remember what they were like for people who will never get to experience them. That's the Pap. He's Pap. He's Pap. Adrian asks, does the Pap monster have a name? Candy cane speculum is what I fed the AI to draw him. I said, give me a monster that's a candy cane speculum. Elderberries or younger berries? I was thinking like I have a couple people on, and I do, all right, give us a memory that reminds you of what it feels like, what the feeling of home feels like. It would be a good one. And then that would be a heart one. And then give us a story when you remember when you learned something, you could tell us that story. You guys remember the sound of a dial-up modem? So the older are the elderberries of the member berries, but the member berries of the youngins, like remember Pokemon? Remember, I don't know what the younger people would remember. I'm not one, but they have member berries too. It's the social memory complex. Boy, howdy, is a complex we're not getting in. Are you driving, Luke? I can't let actual driving people on. I have a thing.
So I can just listen.
All right, you can listen from there. I'm sorry. Like when you park, I'll let you on. It's just like if people get in a car crash on my stream, it would take away from my attention, and I can't allow it. It's nothing personal. Boy, howdy, truly blessed. You, welcome. +2 to the next stream saves. Holy smokes. What? Slack, what are you talking about that? Why are you saying those words? Why are you putting that image into the mind of the hive mind? How dare you, sir? How dare you? Oh. So let's see, I said I would give a member berry, right? Well, I remember at Thanksgiving one time where I watched It's a Wonderful Life, like streaming the television stations putting on A Wonderful Life during Thanksgiving was supposed to be a thing. And it was on, and it wasn't exactly before internet, but the internet certainly wasn't what it was now. And it was just, they invited me into this other person's home. Thanksgiving like that for a bastard is always see whose house you get invited to for Thanksgiving. And it was just so, it was always such a sacrifice for everybody to come together. But I don't know, that's not a pop cultural reference. You're botching this member berry thing horribly. Jeez. Oh, there was a way I wanted to take it. You guys remember when Karen and Sevilla had that talk earlier this week? Ups does, because he gave us one in the clip stream that I'm pulling right now, just to get us there.
God have mercy on me, a sinner. God, there is a God, I am not him.
Mm-hmm.
God have mercy. He is a merciful God. Have mercy on me. He sees that he will give mercy to me, and I am a sinner.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole story is right there.
Yeah.
And that is not a matter of achieving,
Mhm.
but a matter of receiving.
Right.
And
Makes
it's not a
sense.
matter of enlightenment in the sense of, oh, now I have something that nobody
Mhm.
else has. It's a matter of, I have received this gift and I can now tell other people this gift is available to anybody. Anybody. You don't have to be of a certain academic quality or a certain intellectual pursuit, or you don't have to be smart. You don't have to be, a competent weightlifter.
Mhm.
Any child is able to receive this.
Yeah.
Any mentally handicapped person is able to receive this. It's completely scalable.
Mhm.
Where I think some other, maybe that's true in other religious pursuits. I don't know.
If anybody can get it, how come he won't give it to me, man? How come he won't give it to me, Karen? I said something really important in here. What did you say mostly? Gibbons affordances? I don't know what those are. I don't know what those are. Where's that thing I said? Oh, I'm way down here.
Metabolism would be that uniting of the emanation and the emergence.
Yeah.
So that's just a thought I had, but I don't know if I'm on the right track with that.
No, it sounds right.
Metabolism or not.
Yeah. Or the act of expressing.
Each
Yeah, so then there
guy.
was-
Okay, wait. The thing is,
It's J.P. Marceau talks about how when you eat the apple, you are internalizing the apple. It's becoming part of you, just like
That's I think that's Matthew who says that.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
maybe J.P. Marceau was talking about Mathieu, because Mathieu is talking about eating the meat expresses material reality.
Yeah.
like,
The informing comes from above, and then the expressing comes from. But so then
if we give these ladies this view, those little cat fights right there will turn into 5-minute segments. Remember when the Griswold Grimm channel hit 1,000 subs and the channel disappeared? I'd like to find out at this point, honestly. If I have to move to another platform to make the Virtually Not Alone experiments, I'd like to get to getting as far as it goes. And if not, yes, that was a great discussion. And there was also another one I wanted us to remember, Barry, happened this week. And that was, or I think it was this week.
metabolism would be that.
It feels like this week. Why is everything so small? Yes, go on 100%. Thank you. Boyce and Dutton happened this week, and I might still go through it, but here's a piece of that.
Policies.
Dun. Am I sharing? I'm sharing. Okay.
This woman married another man.
No.
Death. It's a technique in psychology, priming. If you prime them with death, then their desire to have children increases, because you're priming them with their evolutionary match. If you prime them with wealth, their desire decreases because you're priming them with their evolutionary mismatch. So I think that's kind of what's going on. So it would be a hell of a difficult thing to force these more intelligent people to have lots and lots of kids. It would be very draconian to force the less intelligent to not have kids. So I suspect that we just won't be able to do it. And I suspect that for this to happen, you'd have to have a group-oriented society. We are not a group-oriented society, so we're not going to institute eugenics to any significant degree. And what I think is going to happen is that there's two interesting things that are happening. There's you're going to get a coming apart of society. Who is breeding? Low IQ people. So that's just going to be the spread of third world chaos. That's what that's going to be. But the other group of people that are breeding is if you control for if you just look at the top quartile of intelligent people, the top quartile, the big sterilizer, the big predictor of not having children, and it's partly heritable, it's like 0.6 heritable, is liberalism, and the big predictor of having children is conservatism. So highly intelligent, because that's important. People have this idea, revolutions come from beneath.
I've been telling people to watch the media. Well, it's funny you mentioned spay and neuter all the dum-dums, Luke. Now, personally and for the record, I think that eugenics belongs in the hands of the shadow matriarchy. We can go into that in depth at some other time if you'd like, but does my New York trip have anything to do with IMDb? Maybe, Chad, but not in a direct way that I would be able to explain, only through a way of, what do they call that? That inductive reasoning conspiracy theory stuff. Remember when the net didn't exist in your mind? Like, I get it. I get this sometimes when I go outside, and it's something that the young people will never experience. But when we were growing up, the world was a mystery, right? Everything was the unexplored frontier. And I don't know, it feels as though the net started to tighten around the time they started reporting that they were putting candy. Remember when they said people were putting razor blades in the trick-or-treat candy? I think that was one of the first fear grippings, you know? Like, can you imagine like going on a road trip without your cell phone at this point? It's like you can't, and then you don't leave a $400-$500 thing sitting in your car when you stop and go into the store. It's just this whole, but I go outside sometimes, and like in the outside, in the atmosphere, I remember the times before the net when the world was wide, and it's like it's a very subtle distinction, because like it's like remembering the way the breeze felt, but it's like now there's the existence of like this ether. It's inter, but it's like the ether that is the net is a presence in the reality I inhabit. Like and I sometimes get to remember what it was like to not have that in my head. And I'm me. Are you coming on to talk? Do you have memories?
Yeah. I have a quick drive-by member bear.
No driving and streaming. You better not be driving.
I'm not driving.
Okay. Here, let me put my headset in while you tell it.
Sure. So that chat with Sibylla and Karen about the apple becoming you, I remember taking a social psychology online class, and the presenter would eat the apple, and he wanted you to put when you thought the apple became part of the person. And basically, once the apple hit his mouth, I said, it's part of him. But most people would say later, like as they swallowed the apple. But what's funny is I thought the apple became part of the person right when they bit the apple. But I have my headphones in my ear all day, and I don't think it's part of me. So, yeah, that was a thought I had from all you shared there.
Are you in denial of your cyborg self?
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of like that thing, the internet, the ether is in your head. This place exists. You know there's a broken clock tower.
All day.
That's in your head now. That's part of you. And that's a completely cyborg thing, right?
Yep, all day.
So,
I got to spend time with the fam, so.
Thank you for having one and stopping in here anyway. So.
Yeah, they need my low IQ to keep perpetuating.
Good on you.
See you guys.
Thanks. All right. Hey, Dad, thanks for coming in. And on me. You've seen him in the chat. Now you know what he looks like. Remember your first kiss? Oh, it was here in this town, I think. The first one that counts is the first one, right? The first one that wasn't prearranged as an agreement to be a practice one. Yes, I do remember it. We do. You guys are begging me for branding out here. Remember, Embody.
There is no agency. We want
what's best. No, I think it's important though, member berries, that we do. It's like, especially now. It feels like at this point, they say we're at the precipice. Like, as far as us people down here are concerned, we're well over the precipice. So I think it's time to lean in hard into the practice of what's humane and compassionate and being there for each other. So if you have a story you'd like to tell, I'd prefer it have a survival social wisdom or heart theme. But if you just want to come on and practice telling a story, let's do it. Remember when I was nostalgia? Oh, I did also want to go into, let's see. Let me go back here. No, not there. Stop it. What? Okay. Oh, you want a musical break? Deal. See, that's great background music. I need to cut it and pull. There's so many pieces of branding people have given me in the Discord that I haven't loaded over yet. Like, I loaded this new one. Rascal on the billboard with Beholder. That's beautiful. I love that. There's this... Okay, so there's this place on the Discord in the Residence Hall. And for those of you on the Discord, I know it's a smaller segment, but... There's two main... The Reaper's Hall is the outward-facing part of the Discord, and the Resonance Hall is meant to be the internal glue area, right? And in there's this place called the Social Memory Complex, where we try to hold on to events that hold us all together. Like Anami, the guy who was just on here, right? He dropped this... Oh, that's the whole... That's not a clip. That's the whole show. Like, but for example, I have in the social memory complex the memory of when I got the commitment from Mo about being in Signs and Wonders. Over on that Just Chatting channel, share this tab instead. Click that here and then play it. Mo, you're camping with us at CHINO.
Yes, and I owe you a bio, right?
Well, yes, but also you expressed some hesitations toward the Signs and Wonders part, and that's terribly upsetting. That's terribly upsetting for me because you're like one of the actual musical talented people that's going to be there.
Okay.
And the signs and wonders is we're going to form a 4-person or more band and play a song so that we can honestly tell people that signs and wonders they saw people will be honestly say they saw signs and wonders perform.
Then yes, I am 100% into that.
All right, you will then be part of the signs and wonders.
Yes, I will be. Now, is there a certain instrumentation that would be requested of me?
No, we're coming together, and God and love and whatever happens. So
All right. I'm just wondering if I need to travel with my guitar or if I can just make.
No, it's okay.
But Mo, you're camping with us at CHINO.
Yes, and
I go on to tell him that we're just gonna see what God provides when we get there. Don't bother bringing your own thing. Like we'll might pawn shop it or whatever. But that's a moment in our collective history, and those are what I'm trying to collect. I mean, if you go far enough back, it's more me-centric, right? But now that we're more of an us. Chad, you're not actively driving. You want to come on and talk?
Yeah, I'll come on. Hey there.
Hey, how's it going? I'm trying to do some member berries to that whole human connection thing, personal stories and practicing storytelling. But before we get into that, I gotta ask, man, where's my Peter Pan drama? I'm supposed to be playing Captain Hook over here, or at least auditioning to play Captain Hook, right?
Yeah, we are writing it. I don't know if you had an opportunity to go and check out the link that I put in one of my community tabs to one of the sessions that we were working.
Well,
So
I remember there being work and seeing evidence of work in the past, but it had been a while since I heard. So is there a project update for us, maybe?
Yes. So right now we're still in the process of writing. If you go to the Friday Morning Nameless community tab, there'll be a link to a particular video that is one of our sessions. So there's some spoilers in there. So if you're interested in hearing kind of what the project is, where it's aiming at, and that, you can listen to that. And we're pretty excited about it. It's not moving as fast as we would probably like, but we also didn't want to be slave to the project. So
yeah, right.
So we wanted to keep it as fun as we could. Also, looking at hopefully one of the ironies that we want to do is use some AI image modeling for art for the project. And if you go and listen to that video that we posted, it's a couple hours long. You'll see it's kind of ironic that we want to use the Mid-Journey or whatever.
We have a link in the chat provided by Ups to that creative session. Why I have to ask, why are you doing AI art for a radio? I mean, you're talking about to be on the screen while we're reading the parts, or?
Well, so we want to release it on YouTube, and we were thinking that the art could be almost like you would have in a comic book. You know, if you open a comic book, you have different little slides.
You're making the AI art slaves do storyboard.
Yes.
Nice.
Yep. Just to help the project.
Gavin says, now we know that we're a hive of floating ants sharing member berries with each other. So thanks for the Peter Pan update. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I totally meant to put you on the spot.
I'm great. I'm grateful you did that. Thank you.
And do you have any a story for us?
Like a corner member berry?
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter. Anything that comes up worth sharing. It's just that I'm trying to facilitate the practice of us sharing stories with each other.
The Macarena is a member berry. I don't know. Let's see.
Hard, right?
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's hard.
Can you tell me the story of how you got the dog we saw you walking?
Yeah, so in September we had a puppy. His name was Ferris, and he ended up getting sick, and unfortunately, we had to put him down. And that whole thing was really strange because I've never had experienced anything like that. I was never like a dog person, and I was always the kind of person that every time like stranger dogs would come up and like smell me or lick my hand or whatever, it would annoy me. And it wasn't until we had Ferris where like that whole thing about being annoyed by stranger dogs went away. And so after we put him down, it was really hard. And my wife contacted the guy that was the breeder, and he said, "Well, that's really unfortunate. He said, I have a dog, a puppy. She's 3 months old. She's only 4 pounds. She's the runt. I don't know what we're going to do with her. You can have her if you want." So we drove down and picked her up, and we named her Dolly or Dahlia. And now she's about 9 months old. And we recently, a few weeks ago, picked up another one. His name is Rigsby, and he's about 4 months old. He looks a lot like Ferris, and they get along great, and they're hilarious, and I love them. So, there.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Hezzy. I'm trying to do an extra long stream so I don't end right before you come on. I was trying to find where Anime asked if he didn't know what his story would be considered. Because if this does, and I don't mind if it does, turn into a pap fight, I would say that Anime's story about what the hell was this story about? Come on. God bless it. Remember, Embody.
There is no agency. We
want what's best. Remember how hard it is to remember things on demand, like what that guy just said 3 minutes ago.
God, I hate that. So weird.
Okay, but however, we do know that your story was a hard story. So if this does turn into a Monster Party storytelling pap fight, we would be no, not that die. We would be picking the die we use. The die we use would be the hard die, which is that die, Jack, and then you roll it, and that would have done 15 times whatever emoji count we have in the chat. We have that one, and we're gonna count that one too, and then these fingers. Why not? So there's 3 emojis would be a ×3 multiplier on the damage done, which tab is over here. 15 times 3 is 45. Would leave Pap with 255 more points of damage needing to be done before the storytelling was over.
I got another one for you if you want.
You got all right. We got another one from Chad. Hopefully, it will categorize it afterwards. Okay. Get your emojis ready for the multiplication bonus, folks. Here's the after Dahlia story.
Long ago, in the land of California, young Chad was roughly 3 years old, and his grandmother would take him to places such as Kmart, which sucks, and McDonald's, which was wonderful. But there's something strange that I remember about Kmart and McDonald's that I don't see anymore. First of all, Kmart's are gone. Secondly, you can't smoke in McDonald's. But when I was a kid, I remember smoking in McDonald's. I personally wasn't smoking because I was 3 years old and with my grandmother, but it's really strange how the culture has changed. But I also remember the one thing that has remained the same about McDonald's is when I was a kid, I used to love the fish fillets. Then, briefly, for about 15 years, I didn't eat fish fillets. And then one day I decided, I think I want to try a fish fillet. So I did. The strange thing is it tasted exactly like it tasted when I was a kid. And that's my story.
That is a terribly inconvenient time to finish your story, because I was about to go get some coffee. Is there any chance you could elicit multiplier emojis for or determine whether that was a survival, social, wisdom, or hard story while I go get some coffee? Can you
That's
hold the
definitely a
audience?
social story.
Well, can you argue that with the hive mind while I go get coffee? Is the question.
Probably not, because I actually have to get back to work.
Son of a! All right, go, Chad. I'll do it.
Bye.
I will proceed on. Thank
I
you
will
for
continue
the
to
story.
listen.
He
Bye.
thinks it's a story. He thinks it's a social story. I'm already getting multiple. Yes, it's a fish stick. It's definitely a fish stick story. So we consult the PAP board here. Now we'll do it. We'll do a little race over here on the side between the die to determine whether or not it's a survival social. Remember, Embody. Earlier in the stream, I said we're going to have to determine which emojis mean what. This is probably a good time for that. I like a fire for a campfire for survival for myself. That's what's on this fancy die here, as you can see. We are completely unprepared, and that's how my streams work. Okay, and when that happens, we either run a clip or play some branding. That's let's watch some more of this then. Well, yes, but also you expressed some hesitations toward the signs and wonders part, and that's terribly upsetting that's terribly upsetting for me, because you're like one of the actual musical talented people that's going to be there.
Okay.
And the signs and wonders is we're going to form a 4-person or more band and play a song, so that we can honestly tell people that signs and wonders people will be honestly say they saw signs and wonders perform.
Then yes, I am 100% into that.
All right. Remember when everyone got excited when the McRib popped up again? You will then be part of the signs and wonders.
Yes, I will be. Now, is there a certain instrumentation that would be requested of me?
No, we're coming together, and God and love and whatever happens. So
all right. I'm just wondering if I need to travel with my guitar, or if I can just make something on the spot.
We're hoping to pick up one from the pawn shop for Chad. I think we can make it 2 pretty easy. If the guitar is what you'd like to rock. But I'm so excited you're on board. I got to go get ready to put that in the update. Thanks for clearing that up, and I look forward to seeing you all there.
Yes, look forward to that too.
Those Anabaptists.
So what is this?
Oh, sure.
Conference or camping that you're doing?
It's the event in Chino that Paul's going to be there. Peugeot will be there.
Oh, the event in Chino. I thought you were saying one word. I was like, what is event in Chino? Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Event in Chino. So
no, I got you.
I'll be camping with Grim and Chad and Father Eric.
Cool.
It'll be weird for me because I don't camp.
Yeah. Well, that's not true. I've camped quite a bit, but I don't as much anymore.
It'll be weird for us all. All right, since there has been zero debate in the chat about whether or not Chad's story was a social survival, yada yada, I'm gonna make the executive call that it was a survival story involving fish sticks, and therefore we're going to roll survival damage against the Pap monster, starting with ups emoji here. To follow any emojis after this one will be counted as a multiplier to the damage from Chad's fish stick story. So, it was social. It was. Well, fine. We'll do social damage. Just do the emojis so we can... guys, just keeping the show rolling is the thing. The social is made of All right, no multipliers. Look at this. We have no multipliers. And oh, there's one. There's one. That's. I guess it should. Whatever. Rolling the die for the damage. 19 coming off a Pap for that. We got another set from Slack. That counts as 2. We'll make 19 times 2 is some kind of math. It's like 2 less than 40 is 38. 40 would make it 15, so 38 makes it 17. That's how I do math. Pap is down to 217, but we have another potential contestant in the rounds over here, and that is Sleeper Cell Shane himself. Welcome,
Hey,
Shane.
what's up, Grizz?
Welcome.
So I have, I guess you could consider it a social story.
Okay.
Or not necessarily a story, but I remember when you could kind of choose between competitive and cooperative. It seems like it's more of a forced cooperative now that results in everything being competitive.
What's the context of this choice?
I guess I would say the internet used to be a place where you could say anything, and now it's a place where you could say the least. So I'm really skeptical of anything where I can't say no to it anymore. Like if we think about all the stuff we can't say on YouTube right now, all of those are things that we really can't say no to anymore. And I think that's a form of forced cooperation.
Because if you can't say anything, you can't say no.
Right.
Well, pretend it was something you realized yesterday morning and tell it as a story while I get coffee?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, sir.
So, I mean, there's just a number of things. There's a Vengeance Day coming up. We definitely can't say no to that. There's things that have to do with the year 2019 that had some jabs associated with them. Can't talk about that or say no to that. Just kind of across the board, it seems like the scope of what you can talk about, what you can think about, you can no longer say no to. I agree with Jordan Peterson that I don't like people telling me what I have to say when I address them. Just lots of stuff like that. And
that's how you came to the realization.
And that's how I came to the realization that we can't say no and we're forced to cooperate.
All right, that's a survival story. Thank you, Shane.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Grizz.
I have no idea what he said while I was getting coffee. I hope that I still have a channel. Well, I hope you're not the reason I lose my channel.
I think you'll be good. Glad to help out with the pap smear.
I appreciate it, man. I think it is really important that we can embrace this connecting with each other the way we can and storytelling and because I think the ride might get bumpy, and these will be valuable skills.
Oh yeah, all that stuff. Plus, then we got the AI overlords, so
they love us.
We'll just keep stacking the problems on top of each other,
and be here together through them.
Yeah,
that's the thing, right?
We'll ride through the dumpster fire together on a flaming chariot.
On a flaming chariot. Thank you, sir.
All right, thanks, Grizz.
Okay, that requires from me some more branding. Alright, now we get to roll damage against Pap for Sleeper Cell Shane's story. Apparently during which Nakama, says a big fat no and is not driving anymore. Do you need the fresh link or the one in the chat good enough? Come on, tell us a story. It'll roll damage against this mighty Pap monster. Like I said, I'm chalking that one up as a survival story. We need. Oh yeah, we know he's here. Building a multi-story institution. Aha! We have some emojis coming in now. There's a 1 multiplier, a 2 multiplier, a 3 multiplier, a 4 multiplier on this damage die. Thank you, Chad, for doing your good deed of the day. And let's go to the die rolls here. 4 multipliers we have against this horrible, horrible Papa survival story. Gets the red die. That one there. And here's your roll. Are you serious? 2. 2 times 4 is 8. We're bound to 209 hit points. And I think it's probably, I am going to attribute a lot of that to Nechama's big fat no, resulting in the die roll of 2. Okay, so we're doing this fancy Member Mary Mimosas here thing, guys. This is Member Mary with Mimosas, where you come on and you tell a story you remember because we remember things together. Remember that episode of The Simpsons where, like, for some reason Krusty's show went off the air and all the kids from after school went outside? That's what it's going to be like after the EMP. Remember? What? Oh, I need more of these, don't you? Remember, everybody. This is the one I have to voice over. We want what's best for you. Weeks in the hive mind says, you live in a church where you sleep with voodoo doll. What? Why are you just quoting lyrics in the hive mind chat, Weeks? Why don't you come on and tell us a story? We're sharing stories. This one time, I was sharing stories as a stream on the internet, and it went pretty well, but Pap still had 219. Oh! Did we do the Kayla and Karen one I wanted to remember happened this week? I don't know if we did. How do you get to it while you're doing this? I don't know. Oh, and the other thing you wanted to do, Grim, what was that? Well, you see, you got this place in the Reaper's Hall called the Loom Room, where people have been doing an assload of work you haven't covered at all, right? Right. And there's this one that Jay Pineapple Pizza started called This Little Kairos Moment. And so to bring up a member berry that may be corner relevant, we'll play that. Is this a clip? That's not a clip. That's the whole damn thing. You son of a... Nope, that's not a clip either. Aha, there's a clip. I knew I'd find one if I kept looking. Clip? Oh, what the... Well, I don't know if you can see that, folks, but it says clip not available. The clip can be unavailable if it was deleted or the video it was based on was removed or edited, which is a terribly important thing for us Reapers to keep in mind at all times. If they decide the thing you've clipped goes in the memory hole, it's going to go in the memory hole as the clip link as well. And so if it's a truly valuable nugget you have, it's best to either play it for yourself in OBS and record that so you have the separate MP4, or use some weird app thing from the internet to download the clip so you actually have it. And because if the clip you make is of them saying something remarkably stupid, maybe one day YouTube will let, or maybe if you're high enough level at YouTube, it shows you the clips people have made of you, and you can see that you've made an ass of yourself and edit it. And anyone who did not do the extraction and preserving of the clip, it will have been lost. It will have been lost forever. In the Hive Mind chat, Anselman says, Chezi, I discovered a dumped bed springs good for making catapult slings with rubber bands. And Sylvia's here. And no one else has come on. Pap might just win today, guys. Pap just might win today. It still breaks my heart all the time walking around this house and missing those kittens that came out of this thing. There was a few weeks there where I got to raise the kittens that came out of this thing. There's videos here on the internet. We could go find them if you want. Oh, good. Right when I'm... What, were you trying to get comfortable before you came on?
Yeah, I just got home.
Well, I'll try and buy you some more time and pet the cat for a second. I don't want to rush anybody who's coming in to bail me out before. You sent me a story, Hezi. Where did you send it to? In the Discord? All right. I can't carry it anymore. Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here.
I have a fresh story, hot off the press.
Hot off the press's story.
Hot off the press. I was driving my way from the holy city of Jerusalem.
Apparently, you're getting a guru reputation in the Hive Mind chat.
Apparently, what?
You're getting a guru reputation.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you caught it, but I did run a clip of you yesterday.
I did see that.
I'm glad you're aware, at least. Okay.
I don't think people should take the guru thing too seriously. Unless they want to pay me. Unless they want to pay me copious amounts of money, maybe I'll change my mind. As gurus do sometimes.
Well,
Not the real one.
Once you have the donation box, then you're a real guru, right?
Mm-hmm. I take my donations from God.
So the story you got while you were driving through the holy city, or?
I was driving. I was one of those.
Are you starting it now?
I'm starting the story. Are we ready?
Here's the story, guys.
Here's the story. So on planet Earth, there's these things called police. And I'm not sure what they're here for. They have all sorts of tasks and stuff. But today, there were two particular ones who were waiting at a corner, watching a particular line that apparently I went over. Instead of stopping behind the line, I stopped in front of the line. And they had a problem with that. And they said, well, that's 500 shekel worth of stepping over the line. You really should have gone behind the line. And I was not in the mood of that. I told them that. And they were like, well, but we don't care about that because we're police and this is our job. And I was like, I see what you're saying. But so anyways, they did divide the fine in half. So now it's 250 shekel. But aside from the shekel, they gave me 5 points. And these points on the license, it's like people take these points seriously, because we live on the planet Earth. And I don't know if anybody mentioned points in the Alien Salience project, but this is what this paper says. So how is that story? Where does that fit in the survival, heart, social, the other one, matrix?
Well, it involves a social interaction, right?
True. I don't think it counts as survival because fortunately I'm not on my last shekel, so it doesn't count. It's a social, right?
Did you learn any wisdom though? Was there wisdom extracted?
The wisdom is just Muhammad, try not to yell at this man. He's a soul just like you are. He doesn't deserve your wrath. Be kind, and despite your bubbling rage, go home and smoke some weed. And it's really this is not a problem. This is not a problem. That's a problem.
I'm gonna count these as multiplier emojis because they're story relevant. We got a siren and ones I feel would endanger myself excessively when I was driving if I transliterated into words. But thanks, Slack. That's times 2 multiplier we have on it. I'm gonna call it a social story. Let's bring up the fancy pants board over here.
Yes, let's do that.
Let's bring up the
We gotta.
fancy
We're at 209. We gotta knock this down. That's a
Yeah,
scary,
that's
scary candy cane.
all right. We got a couple more. We got a couple more sets of emoji multipliers coming in. That's +3 to +4, and we got ×5 thanks to Threadpill's fire, and hopefully this die helps us out for the social. We use the iron, and here we go.
Wait, hang on a second, hang on.
Wait. She said, wait.
I have a technicality.
Okay, wait. What?
I got 5 points on my license. That's got to count for something.
Oh, 5. Oh, well, that's fire as far as Hattie's concerned. We'll give a +5 for each license point to the die roll itself.
Okay, fair.
And then the multiplier. We're up to ×7 with Weeks' cake contribution. So here we go, ×7 on the multiplier. Let's extend the board out and make it a big roll. And that's a 6. A 6
okay.
+5 brings us up to 11. And that's gone. It's up to 11, and then we're at a ×7 multiplier, 77 points coming off a big pap. Thank you for that.
Oh, wonderful.
23 with 9 leftovers, 22. So we're at 122, unless I'm wrong, and that's what the hive mind's for. And thank you, Nahama, for coming on and giving us a story and fighting the horrible pap monster.
Thank you. It takes a little bit of the sting off of the.
That's the shared, right? The shared joys, shared pains.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why we do the stories. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. All right.
There was a contribution to the member Mimosa from the lovely Naguru Nahama Swami. I like.
Don't call me that.
Nahama Swami. Thank you for your member Mimosa.
Bye, everyone. I'll be in the hive mind.
Magic keeps coming on and not making it with her camera off, so I don't know if she's trying to get in or not. I suppose I can pull out another story after all the gift of sharing we've received. What kind of story wants to surface for my folks? It should be a Dungeons and Dragons-ish story. It should be about Deadlands, because Deadlands is the game we're going to be playing here on the stream eventually. Once I'm ready as a DM and indoctrinate players into the system, we're going to try and do a live stream game of the tabletop role-playing game called Deadlands, which is in an alternate timeline, as if rather than in the 1870s or so, what had happened, something else happened involving ghost rocks and spirits and monsters and horrible things. And it's an adventure together where we'll have participants play as characters, and I will be administering the world as the thing. But that's not a story. That's what's going to happen. The story is that after the apocalypse, I went to Las Vegas, where I thought my new fancy associate's degree in paralegal studies would enable me to get a job as a paralegal in Las Vegas, while I got to know my father, who I had just met a couple years prior. Oh, and in case you guys want to do a competitive sip with old what's-his-face, here we go. And, so I ended up leaving Vegas in pursuit of getting the hell out of Vegas after discovering that everyone in Vegas is hungry because it's Vegas. And I, while needing responsibly directed toward getting a job, I wasn't hungry to have one, and it wasn't going to go well. And so I abandoned Vegas the only way I can, which brought me great shame. And then after that, I wrecked my car and ended up back here in Oklahoma. And when I was here in Oklahoma, I met a man who considered himself a wolf in a man's body. And because of that speciality, when the radio station from Lone Wolf, Oklahoma, had become available, he purchased it because of the wolf reference, and him and his compatriots relocated here to run a radio station from whencever, and as such, and my friends became associated with him in the station, and it turned out they were playing tabletop role-playing games on Sundays in the back of the radio station. And this is a thing that happened, and this is where the in this environ, I got to meet one of the best dungeon masters I'd ever met, and we played the game of Deadlands Noir, in which I ended up playing 2 characters after getting the first one killed. But it, unlike Deadlands, which is set in the 1870s or whatever, Noir is set more in the 1930s and stuff, and we stretched it forward enough to the fact we were flying around on airships, fighting demons, and it's quite a, I don't know. I guess stories are supposed to go somewhere, and that one didn't, but, did he wear sheepskin? No. He went by the name Snarl, if that makes this thing any spicier. Yes, Mathemat, it was a rage quit of Vegas. I don't know. My family is still there, so I hope it does well. Slack says, I feel like, what do you avoid it? What's it you're avoiding? Oh, Phlebas asks, how do we prevent member berries from becoming melancholy? Is that like the member berry wine turning into vinegar? I think the member berries themselves are. Yes, I guess a member berry could be melancholic. Slack says, I feel I avoid it by knowing that right now there are people out there fermenting their own member berries out of the current moment, and someday they too may be in the same place. So the sympathetic memory. Demons and Airships would make a great movie. It would. It'd be fabulous. My character in the game had the ability to absorb evil and then use it against the evil. And our airship was coming up against an enemy airship, and I was like, dude, I just go eat their ship. But that guy ended up dying. That guy. He didn't make it. But it was a story, and we could give it a roll. I don't know. I think social's probably the best way to go with that, right, folks? I didn't share any heart. It didn't help anybody survive, so we'll call it a social one. If you want to get this over with, please put an emoji multiplier in the Time Mind chat now while we enjoy this delicious branding. We've ran them all. I know I've run them all. It's only 37 seconds. Now, to be fair, the only reason I've run them all is because I haven't done the proper work of going around and gathering all the gifts people have brought to the Discord and uploading them into StreamYard, and I'm sorry. I don't know if this was an attempted emoji or Red Pill reporting that the stream is buffering. There's a sheltering. We have a ×1. Each ship and die. Yeah, that's pretty much how it played out, Gavin. Upcycle with those emojis. I'm stealing these ones from Madamat saying buy the magic or hide the magic. I can't tell. It's just a hand as far as I can see. But there's 2 emojis I'm counting. And there's 3. There's 3 and a 4th from Cassandra. Slack coming in with number 5. That's a times 5 multiplier. Let's see what the die will do. Let's see what the die will do. Dun, 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 dun. Social story is iron. We got it. Roll it. Times 5. Here we go. Oh, no. Why do you do these things by dice? Random dice that can roll really low numbers, Grim. Why do you think that's a good idea? I don't know. Oh, look, there was 2 more multipliers. There was 2 more multipliers on that 3. That whopping 3, ladies and gentlemen. Which would bring it up to another 6 points coming off. Oh, down to 101. And the comma came on and told the story. Look, you've had so many people come on and tell stories. And you're still at PAP 101. Remember, Embody, the PAP monster is stronger than we all think. Thank you for joining me on this live stream today. I've given you enough branding, but here's the hypno close. Well, tomorrow, live on the stream, we will be going through the clip stream clips that have happened since last week to like the show and tell clip thing that we're doing now for the 3rd week in a row. The Reaper Harvest is tomorrow sometime. I don't know. They tend to end up in the afternoons rather than our slot in the morning. I don't know why. Maybe it's a Friday thing. But so if you're of mind, go through and preview the ones that are any good and give it the 7 indigo emoji. Otherwise, I will discretionarily decide how many and which of the clips get played with no input from you, which is fine. But there's a lot. People are, I think, getting involved and excited in the project, and that's good and exciting for me, and it'll make for a great show tomorrow. So, thank you, Embody, for making this all possible. Johnny! Oh, there is Deadwood tonight as well. Oh my God, magic. I'm so glad you brought that up. Can I do that? No. I need somebody else to go into that mode. The Deadwood is tonight, and tonight on the Deadwood we're sharing, you get to meet Wu. Like, even if you don't ever watch any of you don't want to be a part of the Deadwood Dandies, the meeting Mr. Wu is something everybody should do. So if you're around in, 7.5 hours from now, stop by the Discord, join us. We're going to meet Mr. Wu. Remember it.
This agency. We want